As autumn fades in Germany, the last golden leaves drift to the ground, signaling the end of warmth and the approach of something new. Inside weather stations, meteorologists are buzzing with anticipation, closely monitoring data and discussing what's brewing far to the north. The Arctic is stirring, its icy expanse shifting and changing, and these subtle movements could mean a winter that blankets cities in deep, shimmering snow. This isn't just about hoping for a white Christmas or a few snowflakes. It's rooted in the complex science of our atmosphere, where every shift can have dramatic consequences. The focus is on the polar vortex, a swirling mass of cold air high above the Arctic, a powerful force that shapes our winters year after year. When the polar vortex is stable, it acts like a fortress, keeping the frigid air locked tightly in the Arctic's grip. But this year, scientists are seeing signs that it's weaker and more unstable than usual, its boundaries starting to wobble and break. That instability could unleash a surge of Arctic air southward, putting Germany and Poland directly in the path of a potential cold invasion, with temperatures dropping sharply. Imagine Berlin's familiar gray skies suddenly replaced by relentless, swirling snowfall, transforming the city into a winter wonderland overnight. Or picture the Baltic coast, usually windswept and chilly, now buried under deep, glistening drifts of snow, reshaping the landscape. This isn't just a few chilly days. It could mean weeks of severe winter, with streets buried, cars hidden, and daily life slowed by the weight of snow. Understanding the polar vortex and its unpredictable behavior is key to preparing for what's ahead, helping us anticipate and adapt to whatever winter brings. The big question on everyone's mind, will Germany get buried in snow this winter, or will the cold pass us by? The answer lies in the swirling dynamics high above us, where invisible forces shape the weather we experience on the ground. Scientists are piecing together clues from satellite images and weather models, giving us a glimpse of what's coming and helping us prepare. This isn't about fear. It's about being ready, making sure families and communities can face whatever the season brings. Knowledge of these powerful atmospheric forces helps us prepare for a potentially historic winter, from stocking up on supplies to keeping roads safe. Let's dive deeper into what the polar vortex is, how it works, and why its every move matters for millions of people. The story starts high above, in the swirling winds of the upper atmosphere, but its impact could be felt on every street, in every home. Are we truly ready for what the Arctic might send our way this winter? Only time and the polar vortex will tell. So, what exactly is the polar vortex, and why does it matter so much for our weather? Picture a giant spinning top of frigid air, swirling high above the North Pole, almost like a massive icy crown encircling the Arctic. It's a normal part of our climate system, acting as a fortress that keeps the coldest air locked in the Arctic, away from the rest of the world. The vortex is at its strongest in winter, fueled by the sharp temperature contrast between the frozen pole and the milder mid-latitudes below. It has two main layers. First, the troposphere, which is the layer closest to Earth where all our weather happens, from rain to snow to wind. And above that is the stratosphere, where the real action of the polar vortex takes place, shaping weather patterns far below. When the vortex is strong, its powerful winds form a barrier, keeping the icy Arctic air trapped and preventing it from spilling southward. This means milder, wetter winters for places like Germany and Poland, with more rain than snow and fewer cold snaps. But the vortex isn't always stable. Sometimes it can become lopsided or even break apart. It can weaken and wobble, especially when disturbed by atmospheric waves rising up from the lower atmosphere, disrupting its flow. When that happens, the jet stream becomes wavy and unpredictable, allowing frigid Arctic air to escape and surge southward. A stable vortex means predictable, mild winters with fewer surprises. But a disturbed one opens the door to extreme cold, heavy snow, and even blizzards across Europe and beyond. Understanding how the polar vortex works is the first step to seeing why this winter could be very different from the last. The strength of the polar vortex is truly the key to Europe's winter fate, influencing everything from temperature to storm tracks. When it falters, everything changes. Weather can shift dramatically in just days. This year, all eyes are on the Arctic's spinning top, watching for any sign of weakness or change. Will it hold strong and keep the cold at bay? Or will it stumble, unleashing winter's full force across Europe? When the polar vortex weakens, its once stable structure begins to unravel, losing its grip on the Arctic atmosphere. Instead of maintaining a tight, circular flow, the vortex becomes distorted and wavy, sometimes even splitting into two or more smaller vortices that drift away from the pole. This dramatic change is often triggered by a phenomenon called sudden stratospheric warming, where temperatures in the stratosphere can soar by an astonishing 50 degrees Celsius in just a few days, disrupting the polar balance. As the vortex's winds weaken, frigid Arctic air that was once trapped spills southward, escaping its polar prison. The jet stream below, which usually flows smoothly, becomes wavy and erratic, guiding blasts of icy air deep into Europe and other regions. At the same time, high pressure over Greenland can act as a block, preventing mild Atlantic air from reaching Europe and instead opening a direct path for Siberian cold to surge westward. This setup is known as the Siberian Express, a meteorological train that delivers dramatic, prolonged cold and harsh winter conditions to Europe. The effects of these stratospheric changes take a few weeks to reach the surface, giving meteorologists and forecasters a crucial window to issue warnings and prepare for what's coming. By closely monitoring the polar vortex, meteorologists can anticipate major cold spells and help communities brace for severe winter weather. A stumble in the stratosphere can quickly translate to a siege of snow, ice, and bitter cold on the ground, disrupting daily life. The countdown to winter's fury begins the moment the vortex wobbles, setting the stage for dramatic weather events across the northern hemisphere. When the vortex weakens, Europe becomes vulnerable to the Siberian Express, a surge of frigid air from Siberia. Normally locked away, this cold air finds a direct path to Central Europe. High pressure over Greenland and Scandinavia reverses the usual wind flow, bringing easterly winds. These winds drag bitterly cold, dry air across Russia and Poland into Germany. As the air crosses the Baltic Sea, it picks up moisture, setting the stage for heavy, persistent snow. Temperatures plunge, and snow accumulates, especially in coastal and inland regions. This isn't just a single storm. It's a prolonged pattern of cold and snow. The weak vortex, blocking highs, and Siberian Express combine for a severe winter. It's a recipe for cities and towns to be buried under relentless snow. The transformation can be dramatic and lasting. As of late November 2025, long-range models are raising alarms. The polar vortex looks weaker than usual, with signs of increased atmospheric disruption. Forecasts hint at high-pressure blocking near Greenland and Scandinavia, classic signs of a coming cold spell. For Germany and Poland, this means a higher chance of prolonged cold and snow. If the pattern locks in, it could last for weeks, not just days. While forecasting isn't certain, multiple models point to a colder, snowier winter than recent years. The stage is set for the polar vortex to stumble and for the Siberian Express to roll in. If a major cold spell hits, cities like Berlin and Warsaw will be on the front lines. Public transport could grind to a halt under heavy snow, with power lines and switches freezing. Roads may become impassable, isolating communities and disrupting supply chains. Municipal services would struggle to keep up with relentless snowfall. Prolonged cold would strain energy grids as heating demand surges. Vulnerable populations, like the elderly and homeless, would face life-threatening risks. Emergency shelters and support services would be critical. Businesses would suffer as employees and customers stay home. Even basic tasks, like grocery shopping, could become major challenges. A severe winter would test the resilience of these cities and their people. The coastal resorts of northern Germany and Poland face unique threats from a weakened vortex. Sea-effect snow, fueled by cold Siberian air crossing the Baltic, can bury towns in meters of snow. Roads may be blocked for days, isolating residents and stranding tourists. Heavy snow and strong winds create drifts, damage buildings, and bring down power lines. The local economy, reliant on tourism and fishing, would grind to a halt. Picturesque winter scenes could quickly turn into a crisis. These communities must be ready for a winter storm unlike any other. Extreme cold and snow would disrupt every aspect of daily life. Airports and rail networks could face closures, stranding travelers and halting commerce. Supply chains would break down, leading to shortages of essentials. Schools might close for weeks, and public events would be canceled. The relentless cold would keep people indoors, amplifying feelings of isolation. The economy would slow as factories and businesses struggle to operate. A severe winter is more than a weather event. It's a true test of society's resilience. The polar vortex connects the Arctic to our daily lives. Monitoring it gives us a vital early warning for extreme winter weather. Governments and businesses can prepare, stock supplies, and plan for disruptions. For individuals, it's a prompt to check winter tires and emergency kits. Understanding the vortex turns chaos into preparedness. As climate shifts, this knowledge is more crucial than ever. Watching the vortex is our best defense against a winter unleashed.